Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning,
Good morning, ma'am.
We have completed the chapter tissues, and today we are going to begin with the new chapter. Already I gave you the introduction for this chapter in the previous class, and I had given you a work to find out a definition for health. And I don't want the definition which is given in your textbook that I told you earlier. So who is going to say? Vishal, ready?
Ma'am, the condition of our body from which we are free from illness.
Illness.
Or from any other diseases.
Okay. So you are saying that when you're free from diseases, you can be called as healthy. Any other answers? Any other answers? Nobody checked? Nobody found it out? Half of the class, not even half, only 25% of you have turned the video on. I will not give attendance, no doubt, and I'm going to post the names of absentees in the class group. Joseph, Vatatara, Tia, Evelyn, Vinayak, Ayman. Ayman, I don't remember actually when I had seen you last. I forgot your face too. Christo, Joseph, Krishnaveni. Krishnaveni, she used to turn a video on, maybe some genuine reason. That I can understand. Once in a while, if your video is off, I can make out maybe some connectivity issue. Okay.
Ma'am, I've been in the waiting room.
I have admitted. Anyone else? Any other definition that you found out? Shankari, I can see only your hair and the ceiling. Something.
Ma'am, I cannot put it properly.
Why?
No,
It's not flexible?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you go and sit on the ceiling so that I can see you.
No.
Okay, next day you adjust it before the class.
Okay,
Get help from elders and do it. Okay. Who will tell me another definition? This is not how I want the class. You should be, I thought all will be, I'll find it difficult to control the class. All want to say the answer. Shivanya, what is your opinion?
I'm being physically fit.
Being physically fit. And Mishal said free from any illness or disease. Any other answer? Ashmit? Ashmit?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you define health? Whom you call as healthy?
Ma'am, mine is also same answer when we are
Same
free
answer.
from injury
Diseases.
and illness.
Is there anyone who has got a different answer? Catherine? Catherine?
Yes,
Answer. Same answer.
answer.
Same answer. Okay. Then we will see what is actually health.
Ma'am, Abhinav said he is still in the waiting room.
Let me check. Vinayak, I just admitted. No one else. Only Vinayak is there. He is joining. And children, quickly turn your videos on. Naima, Ayman, Jeff, Christo. Okay, good. So let's begin with the chapter. And a better definition for health we are going to learn. Partially what you said is correct. Free from diseases, being physically fit. When you are not affected by any disease or when you are not troubled by any illness or disease, you can be called as healthy. But that is not the complete definition. This comes only part of health. Physically, you are healthy or physically you're fit. But that doesn't mean that you are healthy. There are different other aspects for health. So we are going to learn about it. Anyway, thank you for all those who gave me the definition for health. At least a few of you did the homework. Chapter 13, why do we fall ill? As I already informed you, this is our last chapter for this academic year and we don't have to go in a hurry. We have sufficient time to complete the chapter and the seminar sessions also will be starting from 5th. So please prepare it on time. Don't come up with excuses. Why do we fall ill? We are going to analyze and find out the different reasons for getting sick. So let us begin with the significance of health. Health of all organisms. It depends on the surroundings or their environment. Do you agree with this statement, children? Is our health determined by our surroundings or environment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because if your environment is polluted, if your surroundings are polluted, it can definitely affect your health. The environment includes both physical and social environment. When I say environment means the surroundings. So when I say surroundings, it is not only the physical surroundings, the air, water, the other human beings, not only that, the social environment means including the other human beings. Physically in the sense that not only the non-living part, even the social environment, your fellow human beings or fellow beings, fellow creatures, they also play an important role in maintaining you healthy. Sometimes a physical environment is decided by a social environment, your society that can decide your physical environment. If the people in your surroundings, they are not maintaining proper hygiene, they are polluting the environment, they are cutting down the trees, they are emitting they are emitting harmful substances into the atmosphere, then it can affect the physical environment also. So physical and social environment, they are interrelated, because the social environment can influence our physical environment. Personal and public cleanliness, good economic conditions and jobs, social equality and harmony, all these are important for individuals' health. You might not have thought about this, no? There are many aspects, many factors that contribute to the health of a person. So we'll see all these. Personal cleanliness, that we can decide, no? When, how many times you should take bath, how many times you should brush teeth, and you have to wear clean, washed clothes, all that we take care. Personal cleanliness you are maintaining. And if the public is not maintaining cleanliness, will it affect? You are maintaining personal hygiene, personal cleanliness. Never you wear unclean dress, or you never skip bathing or brushing. All that you're perfectly doing. You're taking care of your health, cutting nails, taking care of your health. But if the public is not maintaining hygiene or cleanliness, will it affect you, children? Yes. Because if they are not, because we are living in a society, we are living in, our environment is influenced. And if your neighbor is dumping all the waste, if she is not disposing them properly, if she is dumping all the waste around her house, from there also the different vectors or houseflies, then mosquitoes, all these can multiply if the surroundings are not clean, and they can even affect us. So public cleanliness or public hygiene is also very, very important. We have to maintain hygiene. Along with that, the public also should maintain hygiene and cleanliness. Good economic conditions, your financial status should be better. Only then you can afford better living conditions, better facilities. If your financial condition, if you don't have a proper job, if parents are not having a proper job, they cannot provide you better living conditions. Good food. Good food is very important to maintain yourself healthy, because from the food also you are getting, there are different protective foods too, which can provide you immunity. If you don't take a balanced, nutritious food, that can affect your health. So indirectly, the economic conditions also matters. Good economic conditions and jobs. Only if better jobs are there, you will get better salary. Only if better salary is there, your economic condition will be better. Am I right? Only then,
Yes, ma'am.
those people can afford better hygienic living conditions. Social equality. There should be equality in the society. The people should live in harmony. Always fight between people. They are not your neighbors. You are not in good terms with your neighbor. Always fighting. You might be physically fit, but you won't be mentally fit. Am I right? You'll be always trouble deep in your mind. When you say health, it has got different aspects. Physically, mentally, socially, in all these aspects, you should be healthy. Just by being physically fit, or if you are free from all the diseases, you cannot call you healthy. But what you said, physical fitness, is partially correct. That alone cannot make a person healthy. If you are not in good terms with your friends, if you have fought with your friend, how will you feel? You will feel as if you're sick. Am I right? Or if you are fighting, or if you have already fought with your parents, will you have any peace of mind? With your siblings, otherwise you keep on fighting on a day-to-day basis. I'm not saying that some serious issue is there, then definitely it will affect your mental health. Once your mental health is affected, you might get a headache also, no, because of stress and strain. So if you're not mentally healthy, you won't be physically healthy too. It will affect definitely. Suppose you have got full marks for a particular subject. You are so excited, so happy, and you feel that you have been energized or you are physically fit. But you have failed for 2 exams, no diseases, but you're very scared to speak about this matter to your parents. You'll be completely thinking about how to present this matter in front of them. Will they scold me? Will they shout at me? What are the consequences? Will the teacher shout at me? So that can keep you sick. You might get headache because of tension and stress. So there are different aspects for health. Being physically fit alone is not the criteria for being healthy. If you have any doubt in any of the points that I'm mentioning, you can clarify it now. So as per WHO, you have heard about WHO, children?
Yes.
Ma'am, Alina is in the waiting room.
I have admitted all those who are in the waiting room.
Okay, ma'am.
WHO, World Health Organization, they have defined, they have given a proper definition for health. You have to learn it as such. So these definitions you should not modify for your convenience. So please learn as it is. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Remember PMS. P for physical, M for mental, S for social. PMS. Physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or illness. Even without having a disease, you can be unhealthy if you are not fit mentally and socially. This you have to learn as it is given. Health is a state of complete PMS, physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or illness. Is it clear? You want me to repeat it again? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or illness. I want you to learn the definition now. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or illness. Have you learned the definition? I'll give you 1 more minute to learn it now. I want you to learn it now itself. A state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or illness. Anything that prevents proper functioning of our cells and tissues can lead to the lack of proper activity of the body. It goes without saying. So if anything, any agent which is affecting the proper functioning of your cells and tissues, if your cells and tissues are not working properly, what will happen? Your body cannot function properly, children. So here we are speaking about physical health. Any microbial agent or any other agent which is disturbing with the proper functioning of your cells and tissues, then definitely your body cannot work properly. You know that group of cells form a tissue, group of tissues form an organ, group of organs form an organ system. When cells and tissues are affected, even the organ systems will be affected, and they will not work properly. Your body cannot function properly. Now we are going to distinguish
Can you show
between,
the last
yes,
one?
yes, I will. Yes, yes, I will. Wait a minute. Okay, copy it. Understand the meaning and copy it. Okay. Okay. Mishal and Abhinav are in school t-shirt. Good to see.
Yes, ma'am.
You were instructed so?
No,
No.
ma'am.
No, this was a coincidence. Both of you wore it together. Yes?
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
Vishal? No. You planned and put?
No, ma'am. I
No.
usually put in home.
Anyways,
Sir.
nice to see you in school uniform. Shall I change?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Distinctions between health and disease free. So you should know the difference between health and being free of diseases. Dis-ease. You have heard, no? While standing for the assembly, stand at ease. What does that mean? You can relax and stand. Stand in attention means you will have to hold your breath and stand like this, no? But when the activities are going on, you will be instructed to stand at ease. You can comfortably relax and stand. So ease means comfort. Dis-ease means discomfort or being uncomfortable. So that is disease. Whenever you feel uncomfortable, whenever there is some problem in your body and you're feeling uncomfortable, you call it as a disease. You can be in poor health without even suffering from a particular disease.
Ma'am,
Even if you don't,
this is the
yes.
difference.
You're going to
Okay.
learn. See, disease, as I told you, uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, some disturbed ease, discomfort. But health means even in the absence of a disease, you can be unhealthy. You can be in poor health even without suffering from a particular disease. And here they have given you some examples, the same examples in your textbook. Good health for a dancer. If you take the case of a dancer or a singer, their perspective will be different. Good health for a dancer may mean being able to stretch a body into difficult but graceful positions. So she may not be having any disease, but if she feels that she cannot take graceful positions, then she feels that she's not comfortable or she is not well, she is not healthy. Similarly, for a singer, good health for a musician. He is not a singer. If it is a singer also, if he can hold his breath, if he can take high pitch and low pitch as per the requirement, then he might feel he is healthy. But if he cannot control his voice, then he will feel he is unhealthy. And here the musician's example is given. Good health for a musician may mean having enough breathing capacity in his lungs so that he can control the notes from his or her flute. So each one is in a different profession. They might have taken up different professions. If they cannot carry out that, suppose my case, I'm a teacher. If I cannot raise my voice, if I cannot speak, if there is some disturbance or if something is preventing me from standing for a long time, because being teachers, we have to stand for long hours. So if I cannot stand for long hours and if I cannot speak clearly and loudly, then I might feel that I am not healthy. Okay. If it is a sports person or an athlete, if he cannot run as he desires to, then he might feel he is unhealthy. Even in the absence of a disease also, he can feel so. Okay, once again, I'll repeat, dis-ease means being uncomfortable. But disease and health are two different aspects. Even without having a disease. So generally, we have thought that if you don't have any disease, that means you are healthy. That is traditionally what we had been thinking. But even in the absence of a disease, a person can be unhealthy. Some examples they have given, a good health for a dancer. Maybe she is free from all diseases, but she cannot take graceful position. Then she might feel she is unhealthy. Same goes with a musician who is playing a flute. If he cannot control his breathing capacity, or if he cannot play the notes properly, he will feel is unhealthy. It can be subjective at times, depends on a person or differs from person to person. So just by not having any disease, you cannot call a person healthy. There are different aspects, emotionally or mentally and socially also we should be healthy. We should be physically fit, and children, that doesn't mean that a person is socially and mentally healthy, but if he is not fit physically, we can call him healthy. It's not like that. All these aspects are interrelated. Physical fitness is also very important. And if you are not physically fit, definitely you cannot be mentally fit. You'll be fully worried about that. When you have a disease, you'll be upset. Am I right? You'll be fully thinking about, always you'll be thinking about your ill health. So all these aspects are interrelated. Physical, mental, and social well-being. Three should be there. Only then the person becomes healthy. Are you getting the points? Are you understanding the concepts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All these are there in your textbook, children. All these points are there in the textbook. Yes, previous slide. Okay, I'll show you. Okay. Why 8A students are joining now? We have another 10 more minutes, no children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We can be in poor health without there being a simple cause in the form of an identifiable disease. Same point they have presented in a different way. Even in the absence of an identifiable disease. See, when there is a disease, in majority of the cases, you can make out the person is sick from the symptoms. But even if there is no disease, a person can be in poor health. When we think about health, we think about societies and communities. And on the other hand, when we think about disease, we think about individual sufferers. So when we are speaking about health, we need to think about society and community. Why? Because society and community too play an important role in maintaining you healthy. But when it is a disease, we are getting affected individually. We are affected by the disease. But this is, even though this is mentioned in your textbook, I think even in case of disease, society is affected, especially in the case of a pandemic. As you can see, even when there is a disease, people have to go in quarantine. Otherwise, the society will be affected. Other people will be affected. But in your textbook, a statement is mentioned like this. When you think about health, you think about societies and communities, because all these society and community, they play an important role in keeping you healthy. And when it is a disease, that we have to bear on our own. So we think about individual sufferers. Okay. So same point, in the first line, the same point is given. Even without an identifiable disease, nobody can make out that you don't have any symptoms and you don't have any such disease which can be identified, but still you can be in poor health if you're not mentally and socially healthy. And when you think about health, we think about societies and communities, because all these aspects are important to keep you healthy. And when we think about a disease, we think about individuals. symptoms. How do you make out that you have a disease, children? How can you make out? How do you know? Suppose you have fever. How do you make out that you have fever? Anybody? Body temperature will increase. You will feel tired. So some symptoms. And if it is common cold? Cough, sneezing, running nose. So these are some of the symptoms which will help you to identify that you have got a disease. And when you go near the doctor also, doctor will keep on asking whether you have so and so symptom, whether you have headache, whether you have chest pain, congestion. So he will keep on asking the symptoms. So based on the symptoms, the doctor will try to diagnose the disease. When there is a disease, either the functioning or the appearance of one or more of the systems of the body will change for worse. So when you are having a disease, either the functioning will change, your body functions will not take place properly, or the appearance, as such the appearance will be of the systems will change when you are affected by a disease. And when these changes happen, it will develop symptoms and signs. Symptoms of the disease are the things we feel as being wrong. So when you develop all these symptoms, you feel that something is wrong with my body. So symptoms will make you realize that something is wrong in my body. I have to consult a doctor. I might be sick. Otherwise, all those symptoms will not develop. The body is giving you some signs that your body is not working properly. Symptoms of the disease are certain things which make you feel that something is going wrong. Different symptoms which could be established during the diseased condition. So some of the symptoms are given here: headache, cough, loose motion, wounds with pus, and many more. These are some of the symptoms which you commonly encounter with: headache, cough, loose motion, wounds with pus. These are some of the symptoms. So once again, I will repeat. What are symptoms actually? When you have a disease, the appearance or the functioning of one or more systems will become worse. It will change and it will become worse. And this can give rise to some signs and symptoms of the disease. So from these symptoms, you understand that my body is not working properly. Something is wrong with me. Something is going wrong in my body. Then you consult a doctor. And some of those symptoms include headache, cough, loose motion, wounds with pus. Okay? Is it clear, children?
Ma'am.
And the main difference between signs and symptoms is that signs others can make out. It can be identified by other person, the signs of the disease. Symptoms we feel. The symptoms which can be identified by ourselves. Those are symptoms. Signs can be identified by other people. So whenever you have a disease, you develop some signs and symptoms. And from these signs and symptoms, you realize that something is going wrong with my body. I have to consult a doctor. So more about these we will learn next class. Shall I stop sharing?
1 minute.
Okay. Thank you, children. Come prepared for the test and seminar on Friday.
Thank you.
See you.